As I was going through all this information on my stream, everything got a bit jumbled. A fan of mine asked me to look through this. We investigated it on stream. It took us quite a while to come to like the very, very, very incriminating evidence. And so I wanted to do a quick intro and then just get right into the most impactful stuff. Basically, Velveteen Dream is accused of inappropriate conversations with actually a boy and a girl. The information that we have, though, is of the boy that he was talking to. He was 24 at the time. The young man was 16 at the time they started the conversation. The messages are incredibly inappropriate. And I will say that what went viral wasn't the full story, unfortunately. It wasn't the full, all the messages weren't the ones that went viral. As you look, the most popular video from the young man is something with about 80,000 views. That only shows maybe a third of the screenshots. He has another full video and proof that he was talking specifically to Velveteen Dream later on that has barely any views, and so that's where the things really get incriminating. We also go through Velveteen Dream's response, and let me just tell you, incredibly disgusting, just disgusting. So I'm going to let you guys get right into it. Yeah, let's get right into it. Did we find it? Holy shit. Wait, we actually... Oh, no, we found the whole fucking thing. Yup, you guys are the best. Look at this. This looks like just about as much as we possibly can get in here. Starting from the as high up as we can. Yeah, this is the first fucking message that this scum piece of shit sends him. 24-year-old talking to a 16-year-old. Gives him his number, which I wish the kid censored out. What sports you play? Hockey. You look kind of jacked. I'm a noodle, yeah? So, like, this kid is a fucking noodle. The fact that he's telling him he looks jacked, he's totally hitting on him. And the fact that he let me just remind you guys. Let me just remind you here that this is the kid up here. This kid. This is a 16-year-old kid. This is a 15-year-old kid to me. This is a 16-year-old boy. There's absolutely no fucking way that you could ever consider, like, oh, maybe he's not. So he told this obvious noodle, this little child, he told him that he looks like he's fucking ripped. Let's see. Yeah, you look kind of jacked. Okay, I'm a noodle. Yeah, but it's okay. I'm working at it. What's your age? 16. Okay, right off the bat, the kid asked for his age, and he gave him his age. He's a 24-year-old man. He's a 24-year-old literal fucking adult man. All right, look at this. This dude was born in 1995. This whole thing happened in 2020. It's 25 years old. The 25-year-old man. The 25-year-old grown fucking man asking a child for fucking images. Let me get back to the thing. Anyway, I'm a noodle. Yeah, but it's okay. I'm working on it. What's your age? 16. What do you want to do career-wise? Honestly, dream-wise, I want to get into commentating. I always have this little itch to become a wrestler too. Like, being able to entertain someone is just something I'd love to do. What do you look like? Yeah, this kid's a fucking noodle. You know what he looks like. I don't know why he'd say, what do you look like? You know it. You're telling him he's jacked. Where are you from? Kitchener, Ontario. I guess just for the sake of covering all bases, we'll look up the age of consent in that area. It looks like it's 18. Yeah, it looks like it's 18 unless somebody is no more than 5 years older than you, which is disgusting. But, like, he doesn't even fall into this parameter, so he's not even legally protected whatsoever. Okay, great. So we have, like, an actual fucking, like, we have a person... Oh, my God. So not only is this person attracted to kids, but he also makes sure that he uses his platform as a wrestler to coerce him into sending him nude pictures. Okay. So what do you want to do after school, career-wise? So I work at a sports store called Sportco. I'm a sales associate there. So you want to be in sales for the rest of your life? Okay, so it already starts. You want to be in sales for the rest of your life? Holy fuck! This was starting to piss me off. which is already kind of starting the language of like, oh, that's all you want to be? Like, I can help you be more than that. No, I'm young. I'm just trying to finish up high school, go to college, and study to become an electrician, but I really want to become a commentator. Send a portfolio of me to you. Yeah, if you're good, I'd vouch for you. Okay, so I'm going to assume that a portfolio, what does a wrestling portfolio look like? What portfolio would this fucking 16-year-old kid have? What portfolio would he have? I would assume that when he's saying portfolio, he's using that to prime this kid into thinking that the pictures he's going to send is going to be a professional business deal, which is leveraging his platform as a famous wrestler to try to coerce a kid into sending him nude pictures. That's the thing. I have no experience in it yet. Life is about networking. Do you have a physique? See? Look, now it's like, oh, you don't have a portfolio? Well, I knew that because anybody would know a 16-year-old doesn't have a fucking wrestling commentator portfolio. Okay? So now it's like, oh, okay, well, let's network. Do you have a physique? Which means, like, do you have pictures of your body? I mean, I'm just sort of skinny, LOL. I occasionally work out at home. Nothing close to you. Don't compare. You need to look good for you to be on TV. Looking good is half the battle. Do you think you qualify to be on TV? Yes. Aesthetic. I think I have a good-looking body. WWE puts young and attractive people on TV. If you're interested in a job when you're 18, it's a possibility. So why would you need to get these images now? If you can't help him until he's 18, why would you help him now at all? It doesn't make any sense. What the fuck are you talking about? Is that when you got hired? I know you're young and been there for a while. For a few years now, 18. Yeah, that's insane. I remember watching you this past summer at TakeOver Toronto in a triple threat match. Thank you. If you can keep your body right, I'll vouch, no issue. You'll need to do the rest. You'll keep me as a contact and do that when I'm 18. If you really want a job and you're willing to put in the work it takes to achieve success, yeah, I have the drive and work ethic. I'm passionate about wrestling, and I'd put everything I got into it. This makes no sense. What's your physique look like now? I have time to get you into shape. Yeah, I'm young and I can build on it. You will. I'll help if you want. Depends on what you want to achieve. Well, I'm a stick. LO, I'm 5'10". I weigh 175 pounds. I first off need to build muscle. Yes, but other things can suffice until you add more weight. Great. So you know what that means. Oh, I don't have any muscle. Yeah, but there are other things that'll suffice until you put on more weight. And we're already starting off with the how big is your dick bullshit. This is also the kid's Instagram that he sent it from. That's a fucking child. Let's see. Let's continue on with this other shit here. There. Jesus Christ. I'm just trying to open the... Because it pretty much takes off right from that point. This takes off right from the end of that. Let's see. Right, this takes off right from here. Yes, but other things can suffice until you add more weight. You got a girl? Nope, maybe. Why? And this is when he removes all the messages. You see this? So we got up to this point. He asked if you got a girl, and then he removed this guy. Dream removes every message from up until that point. He clearly, this kid didn't just start sending. I know I'm packing 6.5 inches. So we're assuming that he asks him something. He asks him if are you packing? And then he says, maybe. Why? I know I'm packing 6.5 inches because he asked his dick size. Yeah, I bet you know you're a ladies' man. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. A bunch of other shit. Yeah, you're a ladies' man. Yeah, I can be the ladies' man sometimes. Probably asking him if he thinks he can be a ladies' man because it's a requirement to be a wrestler. I win them over with banter or by size. All right, how would you like to do this, sir? So then this guy obviously asked for his FaceTime and his fucking phone number so that he can message him and basically send him pictures of his dick. What the fuck? It's worse than these screenshots. He should have let off with everything. This is disgusting. What a fucking scum piece of shit. What an absolute scum fucking piece of shit. And then in the article, we have a couple of images where the guy, it looks like this young man instantly took pictures while they were going through the thing. This is disgusting. There's no excuse for this. We have a 24-year-old adult soliciting pictures from a 16-year-old, and this would be an example of grooming, right? Because, so like, people like to throw the word grooming around. Grooming isn't when you interact with somebody who's young. Grooming is when you talk to them in a way where you're trying to create a dependence onto them. So this guy was like, oh, you're 16. Well, if you work with me for the next 2 years, I can help you, but I have to know how big your dick is because the ladies might want to see it. I'm going to need to also see you naked. You see what we're talking about? That's more of a form of grooming. Now, maybe he was just saying that to get pictures from the kid for getting one off and then leaving it alone. Doesn't matter. It's still disgusting. All right? He coerced a 16-year-old into sending him pictures, and he used his platform as a professional wrestler to do it. That's what this guy did. This is disgusting. This is vile. This is some vile shit. I can't believe people are defending this. I guarantee you that WWE has to have access to Dream's account, and they have to have confirmed this because there's no way they would let him go. Because my understanding is that this guy was like, he was an up-and-coming wrestler. There's no way that they would do that if this was fake. I guarantee you. Because WWE is like one of the, probably the least connected to cancel culture services ever. So there's no way they're just like, yeah, we'll just play it safe. No, they had to have confirmed this and let this kid, and let this fucking adult go. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting, dude. I can't fucking believe it. Fucking nasty.
Sploppy Lippy just recently.
Hey, thank you so much for the sub, my man. Yeah, they fired him for this. They didn't fire him because they didn't know what to do with him on TV. They fired him for being a pedophile. I know how. I've watched wrestling. I know how tight knit they are, and I know how much control they exert over their wrestlers. I guarantee you that they saw those messages and they decided to just cut ties, and I guess they did him a favor of not assassinating his character the way that they should have assassinated his character. That shit's fucking disgusting. It's disgusting. Fucking nasty. The people asking about the H2O fucking the Vanos crew situation. There's gonna be a YouTube video coming out about it in like 40 minutes. So don't worry about that. Let's see. I sound like Markiplier. I guess that's a compliment. He seems like a nice guy. Let's see, the thumbnail's all ready too. Everything's ready to go. It's not too bad. I'll put the schedule on it right now. It'll come out at 6 p.m. on the motherfucking dot. Boom. There we go. Easy peasy. Easy fucking peasy. We investigate the allegations and find anything. Listen, it might be speculation. I'm guaranteeing you that the WWE released him for the fucking messages. There's no reason they would have... Like, how popular was Velveteen Dream? Like, my understanding is he was pretty popular. Let's see. Few superstars have captivated, enraged, or left the NXT universe speechless more than Velveteen. Oh, well, maybe this is just flavorful language. Maybe it's just flavorful language. I mean, it's from the WWE website. He was popular enough that there's no way they would just drop him. Apparently he issued...
What I'm about to say is my perspective.
Well, where's the release of the fucking... his response? Did he ever respond? Did he ever actually respond to the allegations? Let's see. Opens up after release. Velveteen Dream releases detailed, earnest response to his release and allegations. Let's see. Accusations were levied against NXT star. Immediately saw him removed from live programming. Got social media up in arms in the event. A 17-year-old girl. Oh, this is a girl. What the fuck? I'm so confused. It was a 17-year-old boy. Am I fucking dumb as shit, right? Why do they keep saying it's a 17-year-old girl? Did we just assume he wasn't gay or bi or something? There was
McMahon literally said the N-word live.
That's true. There's a girl and a guy. Let's see. Dream states that there is a direct correlation between his release and the allegations levied against him. The DM... Okay, there's a lot of shit here. So it says here... Let's see. Those messages reportedly contained audio of Dream speaking to the young girl and nude photos of himself. The wrestler broke character on Twitter and addressed the rumors, categorically denying them and suggesting that his social media accounts were hacked. It's worth mentioning that in 2018, the fans of the wrestler noticed strange messages coming from his Twitter. It was proven that his account was actually compromised. Now Velveteen Dream has finally released his statement on Instagram addressing the allegations. The lengthy post delineates exactly what happened from his perspective with the entire DM scandal. In a nutshell, Dream states that there is a direct correlation between his release and the allegations levied against him. The DM scandal, in his words, began when he responded to a young man on Instagram who asked him about his career advice for how to get into pro wrestling. Dream allegedly responded to say his physique and promotion were the most important things to focus on. Okay, so he's literally admitting that he actually tried to fucking groom this 16-year-old boy. This is a literal admittance to that. Based on that, that's not what he was trying to do. Like, does he think that people are stat fucking stupid? If you believe that, if you believe this, then like you're a bit uneducated, I have to say, because there's no way that you think that interaction was him just trying to fucking help a kid out, a 16-year-old. No, if you have to send if you want me to look at a link, you have to send it with like TikTok review points, channel points. All right, so this is his response, I guess, on Twitter. The allegations from this is what they've linked it to. Okay, this is his response. The allegations from April 20th, 2020 have effectively derailed any upward momentum I had professionally. Good. And has ultimately resulted in my termination with the WWE. My name is Patrick Clark, not the Velveteen Dream. Velveteen Dream is a character that I have spent years developing and trying to bring to life. The success of the Dream character relied heavily on kayfabe, my ability to blur Patrick Clark from the tough enough with this over-the-top personality. The character was conceptualized the day Prince passed, April 21st, 2016. I knew nothing about him at the time, but my thinking was that if I could use my interpretation of Prince to create an on-screen personality vastly different from who I am as a person, cue Velveteen Dream, a sexually ambiguous, gender-fluid, self-absorbed Devo. And as I learned more about Prince, I began to tame certain aspects. Oh my god. This is fucking pathetic. I began to tame certain aspects of the character. He's trying to say that because he pretended to be a sexually ambiguous, gender-fluid, self-absorbed Devo, that character personality started to go into his everyday life, and it's not his fault that he tried to have sex or to try to solicit pictures from children, because it was really the character. It was just his original character, guys. It wasn't his fault. That is a meme response. That's what children do. What are you talking? Oh, my original character did it, not me. Is this guy like a fucking, like, does he have some kind of mental disorder? Jesus. Aspects that I deem to be way over the top and inconsistent with who Prince was as a performer. Now, before I unpack, I will say I've enjoyed the many stories I've been able to share with on camera, and I'm grateful to the many people who trusted me with their safety and wellness. I don't know, they shouldn't. Thank you to any and everybody who enjoyed and allowed me to be my character, whether you paid a ticket or walked up to me in Walmart. My goal was to provide you with the same escape that I was offered when I first started watching. My job was to play a character and to help advance storylines and drama far For the fans who cared to tune in, I take my job I have seriously, which is why I've remained silent about the allegations. To me, addressing rumors would be working against the already compromised ability to sell my character I've invested so heavily in. So now what he's saying is like, hey, the reason I didn't address the rumors, which you've already said are true, by like trying to prime us into believing that your fucking character actually tried to fuck these kids and not you, he's just... He's just saying the reason he took so long to respond is because he didn't want to break character, because he's a professional wrestler. So far, this is very much, I'm a pro wrestler, guys. Thank you so much. Look, remember that I'm a pro wrestler. Remember that I'm famous. Remember that I'm popular. Remember that I'm impactful. Remember that you like me. That's what this whole thing is. After I'd been accused, I was given the opportunity to be in a storyline that lasted a few months, and I worked with a few segments unrelated to the story arc. But now I feel comfortable in this position to share the details of my accusations. The night of April 20th, from my verified Instagram account, I posted a story to my followers letting them know that my DMs had been opened. He's confirming everything. All right, the original narrative apparently was he might have been hacked, but now... Okay, I received a few different messages ranging from support to heckling, and some inquiring about how to get started in pro wrestling. I responded to a few, but not all. And of the few I responded to, one account accused me of solicitation. The account belonged to a 17-year-old aspiring wrestler, Jacob. He was 16-year-old. He was 16 years old, not 17, before he deleted it. Thank you for this. I'll acknowledge it in a little bit. In the conversation, Jacob started sharing his interest in working with a wrestler one day and asked what steps would be required. That is absolutely not what happened. And even if it is, it doesn't excuse you from being an inappropriate piece of shit. Could you imagine if like a 15-year-old came up to me and they were like, hey, can I touch your butt? And I'm like, yeah, go for it. And then if somebody's like, hey, you know that was inappropriate and you shouldn't have let him do that, I'd be like, well, he wanted to. Like, he's the adult. What the fuck does the kid have? A fucking 16-year-old has more responsibility than a goddamn fucking 24-year-old? Like, what the fuck is the matter with you? This is pathetic. I messaged a short list of things he would need to consider if he was serious, like his fucking dick. That's what he said. Physique and promo to start. Physique because an independent contractor, no one is going to make you train and eat in the way that creates the aesthetic of a believable pro wrestler. And promo because our job is to sell drama. And your dick because I wanted to jerk off to it. Like, what the fuck? And you can't rely on someone flipping channels to stop to watch a choreographed fight. You're more likely to grab your attention looking into a camera with a strong and impassioned 30 seconds of monologue. I also inquired about which schools he was closest in relation to wrestling, his weight, and his height. It's no point that he talk about how he legitimately... Like, he's already confirming that the DM was correct. Like, this is the thing. So, he's confirming that he sent those DMs. This is just his framing of the DMs. So everything we looked at before was an objectively, factually happened. There was no hacking. That was him. And this guy is a fucking pedophile. Okay? Jacob explained how anxious he felt messaging me and asked me to verify that it was really me. I did find it strange because I have a blue check mark, but as a lifelong fan... Oh, so he's trying to say that the reason he sent a child his dick is because the child asked to verify him. And what better way to verify who you are than to show somebody your fucking cock and balls? I'll have to keep that in mind. I'm going to keep that in mind. You know, what happened to the days of spoon pictures? Now it's cock and ball pictures. Thank God I know now. Thank God that I'm being educated on how to appropriately interact with children. I remember meet and greets and the days I would message wrestlers hoping to be seen, so I chalked it up to innocence and sent a voice message in my Velveteen dream voice as to keep kayfabe. Oh my God. The full voice message. So this is what he's saying. He's saying the fucking character tried to do this shit with the kid. He's literally blaming it on his character. This is insane. This is insane. I kept my kayfabe. The full voice message has me asking Jacob about his height, weight, where he trained, and what school he attended, which Jacob answered back with a voice message, and I continued to answer his questions until I politely wrapped up the conversation and unsent about 15 messages because I realized that I was talking, that I just jerked off to a child. This is one of those things where he finished and he's like, oh, that probably wasn't a good idea in context. I don't care. What the hell's the matter with you? April 21st, I woke up to notifications and tags of created screenshots and videos of a conversation I didn't have with Jacob. he didn't have them with Jacob. They just didn't happen. You've what? I immediately contacted WWE's talent relations and social media department to begin an investigation. Even after the investigation, WWE released a statement maintaining my innocence. The part that hurt for me was having a personal picture that I've used in my personal life on apps being used to label me as a predator. I am in no way the word a predator. Oh no, you are. This is the first and only time I've been accused of any solicitation to anyone. I hate that. This is the only first time it happened, so it couldn't be me. By the way, I'm sorry you guys can't see some of the stuff here. Let me just mute my thing for a second, right? This doesn't make any sense. So there's no way that I believe that the WWE, I'm sure that they said I don't think that they maintained innocence. I'm gonna have to look into it. From what I saw, they said that the investigation was closed, and then they moved on. They're doing this guy a favor by not saying that he tried to fuck a kid for the rest of his life. They're just like, yeah, we just moved on due to the coronavirus. In fact, I'm disappointed in the WWE for they're effectively defending this guy. It's the same shit that happened to James Charles. YouTube was like, we're moving in a different direction when they cut ties. This is what every fucking business does. Every single fucking business, this is what they do. They cut ties with the person for a completely bullshit reason, because this way they can appeal to the people who know that pedophilia is wrong while also not damaging themselves. To acknowledge that the person was a predator makes the WWE look bad. So the WWE said, you know what? Let's just let him go because of the coronavirus. Despite the fact that he's one of their biggest up-and-coming stars, let's just use the excuse that we had to cut funding to get rid of this person because he interacted with the kid. I guarantee you that the WWE had access to all these messages. There's no fucking way. There's no way. And when you know what makes it even better is if you go back to the kid's messages that he sent, which I don't have up right now, this idiot just unsent like 10 of them. He didn't even remove the whole conversation. He kept everything in there. And he thought that some of the interactions that he had were somehow appropriate. That's the crazy thing. Like, he thought it was... It's fucking insane. Let me re-pull this stuff back up really quick so that we can reference back and forth into this. Because this is fucking insane. Honestly. It's fucking insane. I don't even understand. I really wish the only thing that this kid did wrong, and he's not even wrong, it's a 16-year-old having way too much pressure on him, is that he didn't... Let me see if I could find them. He didn't pull up the... What the fuck is this? There's EDP. I'm trying to specifically find... I don't know if I can... Oh, it's probably in here. Sorry, I'm a little bit new to Twitter. We just had all the messages before. I have no idea what happened to them. Let's see. What the fuck? I can't find them anymore. No, it doesn't matter. We looked through them before, so we know we have enough of the information. Oh no, we found him. Okay, it's under media. I'm very new to this shit. I'm sorry, guys. He removed a bunch of the images from before. Like, he removed a bunch of shit. See, look at how much stuff he removed. So, by removing all this stuff, he's like, yeah, he unsent those things. He thought that this shit was appropriate. He thought it was appropriate to ask the guy about his fucking dick. I don't understand this stuff. This stuff is just crazy to me. Anyway, this is half of his horrible gaslight. This is the other half. Until I was accused of grooming by Joshua Fuller, unlike Jacob, I know Josh. Wait, so this is the third person. There was a girl, there was this guy, and then there was another... Oh, sorry, there was a girl, there was a boy, and then there was another guy that might also be a boy that I don't know. Until I was accused of grooming by Joshua Fuller. We just looked at somebody named Jacob. I know Josh. I met Josh after a stint of Tough Enough in 2015 at a meet and greet, and we developed a friendship through a mutual trainer at GXW. Josh shared to Twitter screenshots of the first time we communicated through text in 2016. An autographed picture from when we met and an extremely contradictory story. Josh alleged that I made him feel uncomfortable, but contradicts himself twice by saying I was never sexual towards him. For those willing to research Josh's tweet accusing me, Josh's messages are in blue and mine are in gray. Josh claimed that he was a 16-year-old high school graduate, and that makes this guy 21 at the time, I believe, or 22. And that he takes yearly trips with his friends to Ontario, Florida. I doubted what he had told me, yet I kept my replies diplomatic and professional. The reality of the situation is that I was very helpful and respectful to Josh. Josh lives with his grandparents in rural southern Maryland. Josh got a concussion. And why are you so close to this guy? But this is so weird. I haven't even looked into the Josh situation. But why do you know so much about a fucking one-off 16-year-old? Like, can we keep this in perspective? This is somebody he just randomly fucking met at an event, at a meet and greet. This is a person who is at the very least 5 years younger than him that he met at a fucking Tough Enough meet and greet. Why do you know anything about him? This doesn't make any sense. Based on what he's telling me, this is confirming he was grooming this kid. Actually, or potentially, why do you know his age? Why are you keeping in contact with this person? This doesn't make any fucking sense. It's a fucking fan from a meet and greet. What the fuck? He lives with his grandparents, and I don't know why you know this information. Josh got a concussion in 2017. Again, I don't know why you know that. And against my advice, insisted on wrestling. My worry came from Josh severely injuring himself, specifically his brain. I suggested he take time off from training and see a doctor. He declined because he believed he can work through the concussion. And I cut all communication with him in 2018 because I didn't want to be partially responsible for why his injury worsened. So to have him accuse me of predatory behavior because I chose not to help was spiteful. Nah, it seems more like you got really comfortable for like 2 or 3 years with somebody that was 5+ years younger than you. Right, a meet and greet. This is like, that would be the definition. Like, you're trying to and he was giving him advice on wrestling. That's like some kind of emotional dependency. He's trying to create a dependency. It's like, hey, I'll help you wrestle. I don't buy that a fucking a 21-year-old was just trying to give advice to a fucking 16-year-old for 3 years. There's no way. None of this makes any sense. Josh and Jacob are two of many people that I've helped. Oh, well, if you're gonna put the two into the category of helping, the way that you helped Jacob was by trying to sexually predatorize him. So I guarantee you that Josh is telling the truth without looking into any of it. We don't even need to look into it because that is a completely false accusation or a false categorization. Yet these are the only two who have found me to be malicious and predatory. It doesn't matter. If you are malicious and predatory towards one person, you're a scumbag. You are a fucking scumbag. All right, if you're 25 years old trying to sleep with a kid, you only have to do it once to get your fucking ass beat. One time is all it takes. All right, there's not a 3 times the charm. There's a this is an active predatory situation. This isn't like a 20-year-old messing around with a 16-year-old, which is gross, and they apologize and move on. This is a 25-year-old man using his position as a wrestler in the WWE to solicit images from a 16-year-old boy like his penis. That is not at all the same. There is no justifier, legally or morally, that any of this is okay in any capacity whatsoever. This is a fucking predator. Josh Fuller reached out to Jacob over social media before Josh could put out his own accusation. Oh, so now it's Josh's fault. So the narrative is that Josh is trying to sabotage his career by reaching out to Jacob first to conduct this story. When this came out, you know what's weird? If this was a fake conversation that we had here, if the other kid was fake, with Jacob was fake, why did he unsend messages? Why did he make it look weird by not having your responses to them? He would have just faked that as well, right? Why would he unsend those? It doesn't make any sense. If those were fake screenshots, there would be 0 unsent messages. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. When this came out, Josh Fuller temporarily deleted his Twitter account. I don't give a shit. Which is important because in all the social media confusion, Josh Fuller is the only one who suggested that an investigation had not been done and that he had not been contacted. Jacob deleted his social media after he was outed for being a member of an anti-black group chat. Okay, so Jacob is kind of racist. We've already talked about this before. You're better off a racist than a pedophile. Doesn't make it right. But what? Who? I don't really care, and I don't even know what the anti-black group chat is. If it's a group chat, it's probably some dumb piece of shit 16-year-old kid saying the N-word to his friends, which is scummy, shitty shit. But like, let's not deter from the fact that you tried to fuck a child. We have to kind of keep that in mind here. Honestly. Let's see. There is a public forum from WWE LPSG stars where people are bullying, selling, and sharing explicit photos and videos of multiple wrestlers, and no one has done anything to have the site taken down. I don't really care if your dick pic is being shown to everybody. You shouldn't have tried to have sex with a kid. Something in all this entire experience defamed my character and just the character, right? It defamed my character. I know he's not meaning that, but like he's blaming it on his OC is what he's doing. And ultimately accomplished what I sought out to do, and that was to see me released. Oh no, that's not what it should have done. This should get you in jail or worse. My hope is that over time people can put two and two together and realize that all the allegations surrounding me were baseless and untrue from jump. I felt strongly about not something to defend myself on social media for a while now, but I understand the audience I work for and those who know me deserve clarity. I am thankful for the opportunities afforded to me and the memories I have as a receipt. God has always had me, and he always will. Dream is officially over. Good. Some Patrick Clark lives to fight another day. Scum shit. Scum shit. We didn't even see the other stuff. Here. We saw the Joshua stuff. I don't even know what's going on with this third girl, or this third person who's a girl. There's just so much going on here. So he definitely tried to solicit pictures from a 16-year-old. As far as it goes with this other guy, it seemed like, based on this guy's own account, this wrestler's own account, Velvet Dream, that he tried to actually groom this kid. And you guys know that I don't just say the word groom. Like, I mean, like, he tried to create an emotional and, like, a literal dependence onto him as a mentor, and then it made the kid feel uncomfortable, which makes sense, because it's weird that you would do this. I don't know where to find the information on this other kid. Don't even think we have to. I think we've pretty much confirmed what we all needed to know, and that's Velvet Dream should be in fucking jail.